Hey guys, this is Shane and welcome to my Curator of the Lost channel. Today, hey, let's go over some finds I had at an estate sale this last weekend, and it was kind of this crazy sale. I would have thought going in that I might have bought several hundred books. It turns out that I was much less than that. I got 8 or 9 books and a big stack of magazines on the show. Some good profit potential, but this estate sale was crazy and I had missed it. And a viewer, Melanie, had messaged me and said, hey, I went to this sale. It was crazy. It was tons of books, and they had military and history books. So I checked it out, and thanks, Melanie, for that heads up. And it was the first day, it was on Friday of last week. And then Saturday, it started like 10, and I showed up. I was like 6th or 7th in line. I got there maybe 20 minutes before 10, and it's like 30 minutes outside of town on the north side of town, what they call Harvest area. And so anyway, I got there, and sure enough, this place, I'm gonna break away and show just the quantity of stuff there. There were literally thousands of books at this sale. So I'm gonna break away and show you this, and then I'll show you what I got and we'll talk about it a little bit. So here's the price sheet. Not too bad, but really on the high side for here in Alabama, even at 25% off. And I dislike when they price by size. It's just too subjective. I'd rather it be just make it $2 or $3. But with the discount, things were $2.25 the day I was here. You can see this is actually in the basement. They had a whole library room set up, tons of history and military. It just went on and on. And surprisingly, though, I think I only found like 2 books in here. This other room, a lady had just all those Louis L'Amour leatherette books. A lady had just made a deal on those. I found some NASA books in this room. Then upstairs, there was another side room. It had some great yearbooks, some naval yearbooks that I would have got from the 60s, but those were like $20. So this just way overpriced for what I can get for them. Again, more history stuff. There were things there that interested me, but for the price, there just wasn't meat on the bone. Some Folio Society books on the couch that, again, I just felt like they were overpriced. Then they'd pulled these Easton Press books that weren't even open, but they had done eBay research, and most of these were fully priced, so hard to buy at those prices. So, I mean, all of the subject matter there was like history and military. And when I started looking at the titles, I was like, man, this is crazy. But as I was it was a lot of stuff that I had to do comps on, right? There were a few things you'll see that I cherry picked, but there were lots of things that you had to look up or scan and try to get comps for. And surprisingly, I wasn't finding big winners. Things were like, maybe make $1. It was just a lot of mediocre stuff. Not the value just wasn't there, which I was really surprised. But the books that were in, they had reserved all the Easton Press books. Now there were some good value there. The one in particular I was really wanting to get was The Rise and Fall of the Roman Empire, and that's about a $500 set for that 6-volume set. But they had it priced at like $320, I think. So, it was 25% off on Saturday, and then they were going to do Sunday, they were going to do 50% off, and then they were going to close down and have an hour at the end of the day where it was 75% off. So there was probably some really good money to be made on those Easton Press books at 75% off, but I couldn't get back out there on Sunday, and that was just a non-starter for me. And I tried to haggle with them, but they just were firm. They just wouldn't come down anymore, and there just wasn't enough meat on that bone. So I just didn't get them. So, but here are some of the things I did get. Some good value, spent like $30. The books were $3 for hardbacks. I hate when they price them by size, like the $2 for small, $3 for large, and then there were some Naval Academy yearbooks from the 60s I would like, but they wanted $20 for those. So even at 25% off, that was still $15. So there's wasn't enough meat on the bone for me to do it. So anyway, I got this 1950s radio physics course. It's about a $20 to $25 book. So nice find there. I like that. Then I got this is a NASA pub, Stages to Saturn. I've sold this one a lot. It's $30 to $50. It does have a little bit of foxing on the leaf edge, but you can see the NASA pub. I've sold this one probably 5 times when I find it in hardback. it's usually good for at least 30 bucks. And if it's in better condition, it probably brings 50. So again, all of these I paid $2.25 for. They were $3 with the discount. They're like $2.25. Here's one. It's maybe a thin book, but I got it because it hadn't even been opened, really. It's about a $20 book, this Great Basin Archaeology, Julius Stewart. I probably, it's $20, brand new, sealed, hadn't even been opened, so, it's worth $2. Now, here's one that's a good one. It's another Great Basin drama paperback. I've got sold comps on this for 36 bucks, so big win there. Then here's one that's kind of cool. This Skipper, commander of the fighter squadron in World War II. I have sold comps on this one for 40 bucks. So big win there. Again, paid $2.25 for it. Here's another NASA Apollo spacecraft. It's a volume 4. I see list comps on this for 85 bucks. Conservatively, I think this will be more like a $40 to $50 book. Then here's one. This Alex in Wonderland, a book about a pilot, life and adventure, world of aviation. I have sold comps on this for 23, so it's nice. I got this one. I liked it. It was a Civil War book, Meigs Line. I think that's Civil War. Yeah, U.S. and Cherokee Nation. Disputed boundary. But anyway, I have sold comps on this one for 20. It's good. And then had another, this was a Army Corps of Engineers, as you can see but it's an Army Corps of Engineers book, and it's like a $20 book. So those were some of the ones that I cherry picked that I found. Like I said, I was disappointed really with I couldn't believe, as I was going through it for a long time, I just had that Great Basin book and I didn't have anything else. I said, I can't believe I'm surrounded by hundreds, if not a few thousand books. I've got one book, and then I found some of these others. But what I think the big win's going to be, let me show you this box. Look at this box up here. I got this huge box. There's like 200 of these. It's magazines. Got them for 15 bucks, and they're all about knives. It's this knife collector book, and they're all from the 80s. I'll show you another cover. They're all from the 80s. Sometimes there's multiple copies, but I have sold comps on these from the 80s. Some of them like 8 to 16 issues together, and they're bringing 20 to 25 bucks. So I've got like 200 copies here. So I figure, conservatively, I probably have, in that 8 to 16, say full years of magazines. Like I said, there's multiple copies of some in the years. There's right at 200 of these things. So I'll probably have somewhere around 16 sets of these magazines, and they're bringing, like I said, like 20 to 25 bucks for. I had some sold comps like 20 bucks for 8 issues, and then there was like maybe 25 bucks for 16 issues. So I'm gonna call it like 20 bucks per set. I'll bend them up in the right way, right? So I think this $15 set of magazines that I bought, I'll sell them. It'll bring it'll probably bring at least 200, maybe 250 bucks when it's all said and done. So that was the big win. Then with the the 30, I think I would tax on. I was like, I spent like 32 bucks. Several of those books that I have sold comps. There's 30, 40. 60, probably. I have like books, half of those had sold comps with the magazines. I'll easily make 350, 400, maybe even more, depending on some of those. So but probably just call it 400. But it was all said and good. But overall, I was so disappointed, right? Because I was expecting, what I was hoping when I went into this was for my Amazon stuff, and I think most of this is going to sell on eBay. But I was hoping that I was going to run across this treasure trove of stuff for Amazon and just be able to like ramp my inventory up by, a couple hundred books, but just didn't work out. Now, on that last day, I'm certain that they had leftover books, and at 75% in that last hour, you might have even been able to get them free, or just like 50 bucks to get a whole truckload or something. But again, I wasn't finding books of great value. There were a lot of books that were, the resale was $5, $8, and with pay at the time, even with the discount, paying $225 for them. And then, you know, when you put fees and effort, I just wasn't finding a lot of books that were worth the time. And so anyway, sometimes it happens. One of these days, I tell you, I'm gonna run into a sale like that, and it's gonna be all that number, and it's gonna be sci-fi. And then it's just gonna be over, right? That's gonna be like, stop, because you can't get any better. So, you know, I hit that with the romance books back in the summer, right? I went into the house and they had like literally hundreds, if not a couple thousand romance books. This was in my wheelhouse, you know, military and history stuff, but it just didn't work out. So anyway, we'll see. That's why you do it. You just keep, you know, take that hammer and hit the rock 1,000 times. That's what sourcing feels like sometimes, and that's what you have to do. But that's what I found. Still got some great resale potential, and hopefully you enjoyed it and you're seeing stuff, finding stuff, see cool, buy cool, and list it so you can sell it. Talk to you soon. Bye.